All right, welcome back to the showcast and another interview portion of our show. Our next guest this week has been all over the map. He's been a vampire, he's been a mutant, he's been a doctor, and he's even been a Haitian drug lord. You can currently catch him as Dr. Zed on TNT sci-fi drama Proof, which airs Tuesdays at 10. We want to welcome Eddie Gathegi to the show. How you doing, Eddie?
Oh, man, how you doing? I'm very good, very good.
Good.
Pleasure to be on with you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So I would guess since the season finale of Proof is coming up, you guys aren't still filming Proof, are you, right now?
Oh, we finished back in the late April, early May. That's when we wrapped up.
Yeah, so where are you hanging out right now?
Right now I happen to be in New York. I'm back and forth between Los Angeles and New York. It was New Orleans and L.A. Yeah. Now it's L.A. and New York.
Oh, yeah, we always like to hear an East Coast guy hanging out in New York, being from Philly ourselves, so that's always good.
There's no greater place to be than like right now in the city when the weather's dope.
Yeah, weather is real nice. I hear that. Awesome. So how about you tell us a little bit about Proof, the show, and a little bit about your character, Dr. Zed, as well.
Well, the long and the short of it is, and for those of you who haven't been watching, shame on you. For those of you who haven't been watching, our show is basically, we're trying to figure out if there's life after death. So we're trying to tackle life's biggest question: what happens when we die? And I play Dr. Zidan Badawi, and I'm part of a team, and the team is basically comprised of me, Jennifer Beals, who plays Catherine Tyler, and Janelle Ramsey. The three of us are just investigating cases of near-death experiences, trying to get closer and closer to the truth. And it's a fascinating show. I think our fan base, those that are watching, really like it, and it's well done.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what kind of, research goes into that? Because obviously nobody knows the answers to the questions that you're trying to answer. So what kind of research are you doing headed into the show to kind of get into the mood for it?
Yeah, nobody's got the answers to life's biggest question.
Yeah.
I think for anybody who has or hasn't read Proof of Heaven by Dr. Eben Alexander, he's like the neuroscientist who had a near-death experience. And
sure.
He basically, the premise of his entire book was, I operate on brains. I'm like one of the foremost authorities that would tell you that when your brain is dead, that there's nothing to bounce off of your cerebral cortex. You have no way of having visions or any sort of brain activity. And he was pronounced dead and had visions. So he said he's the biggest skeptic. He more than anybody would be able to tell you that there's not life after death, but he experienced something completely different and wrote a book about it called Proof of Heaven. And our show, I don't want to put words in the writer's mouth, but if you read the book and you watch our show, you'll see the similarities. So in terms of research, for me, I did read that book after we had gotten into production, just to familiarize myself with that pursuit. And there's tons of books out there. And then also it was just a matter of not studying medicine, because there's no way that I'm going to cram 8 years of medical school into, one season of filming.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. My research has just been my life experiences, who my character is in this world, and what his passions are, where his emotional life lives, and his moral compass, where that stands, and his vulnerability, and etc.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I am a little bit hesitant to call this sci-fi because it's certainly the way you described it, it's more on the science side than the fiction side. But more on the fiction side, you have been in X-Men as Darwin, and you also played Laurent in the Twilight Saga. So this isn't your first go at this type of genre. But the Twilight side is kind of more what I wanted to talk about, because I got to believe that those fans are just crazy off the wall at certain times, especially at premieres and stuff. Can you take us into your world a little bit as one of the stars from a series that was as successful as the Twilight Saga?
The Tweeleat Saga? The Tweeleat?
Yeah.
My friend Jared, he's hilarious. He loves to mispronounce everything that I've been in. Hey, Edie, were you in Tweeleat? Anyway. I wasn't into sci-fi before Twilight. I got to attribute Twilight to opening me up to the whole sci-fi world,
Sure.
because I just was not my jam. I'm like one of the few people that I know that still hasn't seen Star Wars, and
Uh,
I mean, I'm willing to say that on the radio. I'm going to get hate mail.
yeah,
You haven't seen Star Wars?
we're a nerd podcast, so you're gonna get hate from us too.
Sci-fi was not my jam, but when I got thrust into this franchise, and I had to do my research, I started to fall in love with sci-fi. And in terms of the fan base from TV, it's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, taking us back to Comic-Con after we had wrapped the first Twilight before it was released, apparently, 6,000 people camped out in front of Hall H in San Diego. And when they got in and we took that stage, they screamed for us at the highest decibel level that Hall H had experienced to date. I mean, these fans were rabid.
That's crazy, man.
They're insane, like, hungry for a bone.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun, man. For a second, you felt like you were a Beatle, like a rock star.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's it's not bad for a guy whose first love was basketball, right?
Yeah, no, I know. I never got that love playing basketball, especially the way that I played.
Can you tell us a little bit about it? It feels like it was kind of a pivot point in your life. Just because in my research, it seems like if you didn't have an injury while you were playing basketball, you wouldn't really be an actor at all today.
That's like absolutely true. Like I attribute that sports injury to like me finding my passion.
Yeah.
I hurt my knee and I just got depressed, and I wanted to take a class that was easy, right?
Yeah.
So I took an acting class, and I discovered that it wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be, but it was very challenging in all the ways that my DNA made up. It was perfect for me, and I decided to pursue it professionally. And even if I was never successful, or success is relative. If I would have had a career in theater, I mean, that's successful as well.
Yeah.
I would be just as happy pursuing something that I love rather than something that I didn't.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
No, absolutely, of course. And then, I'm sure a lot of people are happy that you picked up that acting career, and I certainly am, in the sense that you played Cheese in Gone Baby Gone, which is a great movie. Cheese!
Like Clinton, I'm friends with this dude named Clinton Sparks. He's a DJ,
Yeah.
and whenever he texts me or calls me, that's the first thing he cheese.
That's great, man.
Because he's from Boston, and he loves that we shot that in Boston.
Yeah, this is kind of along the same lines as the question I was going to ask you, because Gone Baby Gone is certainly more up my alley than Twilight is. And I love the line from you that ends with
Me too, bro. Me too.
Yeah. I pray for her because she's gone, baby, gone. That's one of the best
the
lines.
title line, son.
Love it.
The title line.
That's the best. Tell me you get that in the street. Tell me someone has come up to you in the street and recognized you as Cheese and given you that. Even if it's a friend or something, I need to know that somebody's giving you that line.
It doesn't happen all the time. As a matter of fact, it never happens that somebody comes up to me and says Cheese.
Yeah.
But people every now and again, people will come up to me and recognize me from Gone Baby Gone.
Yeah.
And that's a good day, because Gone Baby Gone is one of the projects that I'm most proud to have been a part of, and I love that character and I love that experience. So when somebody recognizes me from Twilight, that kind of happens all the time, because the movie was so big,
Yeah.
and lots of people saw it. Even if they didn't want to see it, they had to take their girl. They had to take their girl to the movie theater. So that movie has a lot of eyeballs on it. But Gone Baby Gone, that grossed $20 million in the box office. It wasn't big box office, but it was critically acclaimed, and
Yeah.
the performances by everybody were terrific. So it was a good thing to be part of. And people don't recognize me from that, and when they do, it just warms my heart a little bit.
Yeah. It's a great movie. I love it.
Yeah.
And we've touched a little bit now on Laurent and Cheese, kind of bringing them together. You also have a role as an antagonist coming up in The Blacklist, coming up in the new season here. And that's a lot of villains to be playing, man. And you seem like a good guy, so kind of more of a research role here. How do you channel that antagonistic energy without taking it into the real world on people?
It's really funny, because when I first did Twilight and I'd go places, people would be freaked out. They'd be like, "Oh my God, you're so nice. I'd be nothing like Laurent." And it's like, well, I'm acting,
Yeah.
and now I've sort of been accumulating. I've been collecting these bad guys that I've been playing, and I think the goal for me is every villain I play, I got to offset it with like a nice guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just keep it well rounded. So yes, I'm about to play the villain on the Blacklist, but I got Zed on Proof, who's like the sweetest guy in the world, who's got the biggest heart,
Yeah.
who's totally loyal and kind. And I did this movie with Travolta last year, and I think that's going to come out this fall. It's with Rob Brown and Michael Pitt and Chris Abbott.
Cool.
Jack Earl Haley directed it. It's his directorial debut. It's called Criminal Activities.
Cool.
And Travolta's kind of terrific in it. Everybody's terrific in it. It's like a fun caper film. But I play a bad dude in that, so I have to offset that one with a nice guy. So I'm like looking for a role, guys. I'm looking for like a nice guy.
Well, providing a
balance, man. It's the yin and yang.
providing a twist, Dr. Zed doesn't seem like too bad of a guy in Proof here.
Yeah, Zed does not have a bad bone in his body.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I didn't know if there was some kind of huge M. Night Shyamalan twist coming on us, but he seems like a pretty good
You know
guy.
what? Let me not say that. You never know. Plus, we get picked up for another season. There's an arc that could happen,
Yeah, exactly. And then now just talking with you back and forth a little bit here, I've realized that we've covered a lot of different types of work that you've done as well. And I haven't even mentioned you had some roles in House and Justified, and you were a little in a random couple of CSI episodes, and you're even in an episode of Veronica Mars, which is a cult classic. Essentially, you've been everywhere. Do you have a role that kind of sticks out as your favorite over the years, one that you would just either really proud of or really enjoyed being a part of?
Yeah, we talked about one of them. Gone Baby Gone is definitely one of my favorites. It was a defining moment for me to be amongst that company. But the other favorite role that I've ever played was in a play, actually. A play that Tracy Letts, people might know Tracy Letts from August Osage County, which was the Broadway play that was made into a film with Meryl Streep and a bunch of other famous people. But he wrote this play, lesser-known play called Superior Donuts, and I was fortunate enough to do that at the Geffen Theater with Gary Cole. And it's about a dude in a donut shop, and I play a young kid who gets a job at this donut shop. But the role was just a dream role. I got to be, vulnerable and sprightly and dark at times. It was just such a three-dimensional part. And I got to play on stage and have fun. There was a moment where I did this Michael Jackson impersonation.
Nice.
It was full. It was like totally fun.
Yeah.
And I think that might be like one of my favorite roles that I've played besides Gone Baby Gone.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it was a little bit of another research thing, but I think I recognize that title. Was there some kind of award acclamation that came with that role as well?
Yeah, I was nominated for an Ovation Award, which is I think Los Angeles' version of the Obie Award, which is the off-Broadway award, I guess the off-Broadway Tony Award for New York.
Yeah.
I didn't win that, but I did win the NAACP award for that performance.
Ah, that's cool. Kind of talking about the theater acting, it kind of sounds like a little bit of a passion comes out. Do you have a preference? We ask all our people that we interview that do theater and cinema. Do you have a preference of one over the other, or kind of so different, I guess?
I mean, they're all vastly different, but then they're the same. Can you say that? Can you say something that's completely different and the same at the same time?
I mean, you just said it. I think you're allowed.
Hypocrite, or I'm a walking contradiction. I love them both for different reasons, and both of them are challenging for different reasons. Like I said, one of my favorite roles has been on stage, but I love working in TV and film because you get to affect more people. What I'm doing, I was at work today for the Blacklist, and you're just aware that when you walk onto a hit show, you're aware that within a couple weeks' time you're going to be seen by 10 million people.
Yeah.
And you can't reach that many people doing theater in a black box.
Yeah, no kidding.
So there's something magical about knowing that you're going to connect with a huge population. So that's what's cool about TV and film. And then TV and film also, the paychecks aren't too shabby. You know what I'm
That works
saying?
out well, yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool. You get to upgrade your the way that you live. If I made a living, and people make great livings off of theater, depending on how far they get. But theater, for me, to do theater exclusively would be more of a struggle,
Yeah.
And it's great that I have the opportunity, because at the end of the day, I also realize that these opportunities that you get to work in TV and film at a high level, they're so rare. You know, I've got so many talented friends that are just beasts. They're in beast mode with their acting, and they don't get the breaks. You know, they don't get the opportunity to show the world what they got. And a lot of this industry has to do with timing and luck. And I get lucky, man. I get lucky.
Yeah, well, certainly earned it a little bit as well along the way, I would think.
Yeah, well, you prepare. You make sure you got what it takes, and then you hope that everything falls into place. And sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it doesn't. That's the reality.
Yeah, it's just the way it works. Awesome. Well, we're going to let you go now, Eddie. We covered our time here, but first I'm going to remind everybody to go ahead and watch the season finale of Proof. It comes up Tuesday at 10 o'clock on TNT. And like Eddie said, shame on you if you're not watching, but if you can catch up on the first 9 episodes on demand if you haven't seen them yet. And also be sure to follow Eddie on Twitter and Instagram at I am Eddie Gathegi. Is that right?
That's exactly right, my brother.
Perfect. All right, thanks so much for joining us today, Eddie. We really appreciate it.
Thank you too, man. Had fun. My pleasure.
Awesome. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back with more of the Showcast right after this.